Let us start with a project. In this, we are going to fetch fake store API data, and in this project, we are going to use concept of useStateHook. Later on, this same project we are going to convert using useReducer hook. Now here I am having fetch post button. As soon as I click on this, here I will be having loading, and from fake store this data will be fetched. Accordingly, you can give your own styling, but for learning purpose, I have simply given this random styling. So from API, I am able to fetch image, I am able to fetch title, price is displayed, and below this I am having one button. Again refresh. So when my data is getting loaded, my button text will be changed to loaded. Once my data has arrived, I will be having entire data and my text changes back to fetch post. So this entire project we are going to use using useStateHook. But if I am having some error while fetching the data, I will click on this. You can see this message will be displayed. So now we are going to work on this project, and in this entire project we are going to use concept of useStateHook. I will come to VS Code. Inside this, I'm just going to create one folder. I will give fetch state. And inside this, I will be creating one file, fetch data.js. Now I will come to app.js. From here, I am going to remove this. Instead, I will just include this fetch data.js. And from here, I will be writing import. And inside this, I will be passing fetch data from. I will pass this folder name, and from this folder name I just want to import this entire file. You can also create separate React app, but I'm just going to continue in this folder. Now inside this fetch data we do not have anything, so from scratch we are going to start this project. So first I will be writing export default function fetch data, and inside this I will return hello. Save it. Now successfully I am able to display this hello. And inside app.css I have given this basic styling for this entire project. Accordingly, you can give your own styling or you can only learn React concept. I will close it. So now first I am going to create static structure for my project. Remove this h1. In place of this, I will create div, and for this I will give the class as container. Inside this, I will be creating button. For this, I will give the class as fetch btn, and simply I'm just going to display fetch post. Then below this, I will be giving span, and for this I will give the class as error message. Inside this, I will write the text as something went wrong. Now, successfully, I am able to display this button as well as I am able to display this text. Now below this, what I just want to create separate container for my product. For this cart container, you can create another component, but as of now, let us work on this same file. So below this span, I will be creating div, and for this, I will give cart container. Inside this, I will create another div. For this, I will give the class as card. Then first, what I want to display? I just want to display the image. So here, I will write cart image. Inside this, I'm just going to create this image tag. As of now, I'm not going to pass anything. Here, simply, I will be writing title. Come here. Now you can see successfully my container is created and this image is not present, but my alt text is displayed. Below this, I'm going to create another div. For this, I will keep the class as cart content. Inside this, I will write h3. Then I'm just going to give cart title. Simply, I'm just going to write cart title. Come here. Now you can see my title is displayed. Below that, I just want to display the price. Here I will be writing cart price. And here I will write 100. Save. Come here. Successfully, I am able to display. But here, let me just add the text. In demo, we have not added this price, but let us add this text here. Then finally, below this div container, I will be creating one more div. For this, I will keep the class as cart actions. Inside this, I will be creating one button. For this, I will keep the class as cart btn. Then I will be giving the text as buy now. Save it. Now you can see successfully my card is displayed. Now if I just want to display one more card, I will copy. Below this I will be pasting. Again my card will be displayed. But in React we are not going to copy and paste. Instead we are going to loop through the data and accordingly we are just going to display the data. So let me remove the second card. Instead I will just keep only one card. So whenever we are fetching any data from API, first while fetching, data will be loaded. If it is successful, we are going to get the data. If it is not successful, we are going to get the error. So here we are having three cases. Let me just come here. Above this, I will be writing. First, it will be loading. Then successfully, if everything is fine, then I just want to fetch the post. If everything is not fine, then simply I just want to display the error. So basically, we are having three functionalities. So for that, what we will do, we are going to create three states. Below this, I will be writing const. Inside this first state, I will give loading. Then setter function set loading. Initially, this will be set to false. Once my data is getting fetched, only then we have to make this as true. Initially, this will be false. Then I will be creating another state. I will give post. Then set post use state. Initially, let me just remove this. I will write here use state. And also use state will be imported from React. And inside this initial value, I will be giving as array. Because inside API, we are going to have array of object. Initially, we do not want to display any product. So that is the reason we have passed empty array. Let me copy this error and above this I will be pasting. Then finally, for error, I will be creating another state. Here I will be giving error. Set error. Initially, we do not want to display any error. So initial value we are going to pass as false. That's it. We have created three state. Now here if you see I have written the wrong spelling. Let me just correct. Save it. Again I will be having the same result. But now for loading initial value is false. For post initial value is empty array. And for this error initial value is false. Now what I want to do, when it is loading, I just want to display another text. If it is not loading, I just want to display this fetch post. So this entire thing I'm going to wrap inside JavaScript mode. Here I will check if loading is true. Let me come inside this. If my loading is true, then what I want to display? I just want to display loading. Or else I just want to display this fetch post. Save. Now initially my loading is false, so fetch post will be displayed. You can see fetch post is displayed. But here if I make as true, now you can see I will be having this loading text. But initially I will set it to false. Once I click on the button, when my data is getting loaded, only then I just want to display this text. But initially I do not want to display this text. Similarly, for error also, if my error is true, only then I want to display this. or else I do not want to display this message. JavaScript mode. Now you can see initially we can see this message. Now I will be checking if my error is true, only then display the message. If it is false, do not display the message. Now currently it is false, so we should not be having this message displayed. You can see that message has gone. If I make as true, save it, now that message will be displayed. Initially, I'm just going to make as false. Now, whenever I click on this fetch post button, only then I have to fetch the data. So here I will be writing on click. Inside this, I will give the function name as handle fetch. I will copy this function. Below this, I'm just going to create this function. Save it. Nothing happens. Whenever I click on this button, I have to call this function. Now inside this function, first what I will do, when my data is getting fetched, I just want to set my set loading to true. I will copy. Here I will be pasting. I am just updating my loading state to true. Now here I will click on this. You can see it is loading. So once it is through, this text will be displayed. So let me refresh. But now what I want, instead of only displaying loading, I just want to fetch the data from API. So for that, we are going to use fetch function from JavaScript. And inside this, we are going to pass fake store API data. Just search for fake store API. Click on this first link. And here you will be having this data. Copy till products. Copy. Come here and inside this you have to paste. Then I will come down. Using this then method, whatever data I will be having, I'm just going to apply JSON method. Inside this, I will be passing response. After that, on this response, I'm just going to apply this JSON method so that we get readable data. Then after that, I will be writing then. Inside this, I will be passing data. Simply, I will log this data. And from here, I will be removing semicolon. That's it. Now I will come here, come to project, open inspect. Now I will click on this. You can see successfully I am able to fetch this API data. But still if you see here, my button text is not changed. It is still loading. So what I want to do, so once my data has arrived, what I want to do, I just want to set this loading to false. So here I will just give curly braces, come down. Once my data is fetched, I will set this set loading to true. Sorry, set loading to false. Save it. Again come here, refresh this. I am fetching the data. Once the data is fetched, you can see again my button text is changed to fetch post. Let me clear this and show you again. I will click on this. It is loading. Once it is loaded, you can see once my data is fetched, after that, again, my button text is changed to fetch post. Finally, we should be adding catch method as well. Below this, I will be writing catch. Inside this, I will be passing error. I will simply log this error. That's it. I have not done anything. And from here, I will be removing this semicolon. So here, what I have done, when I click on this button, successfully, I am able to fetch this data. But what I want, instead of displaying in console, I just want to display on my UI. So for that, we have already created the state and this is nothing but this is array of object. So what I have to do, first I have to loop through my array. So now my post is nothing but array. What I want to do, I just want to loop through entire array. So this entire data, I just want to loop. I will be wrapping inside this JavaScript mode. Inside this, I will be giving post dot map method. Here, I will be writing close map method. Inside this, I'm going to pass post. open this callback function, and inside this parenthesis, I will just copy this entire thing, cut it from here, and here I'm just going to paste entire diff container which is having class as card. That's it. So later on, once we update the screen, using this set post, we are just going to get entire data which is nothing but array of object. I will save it. Now instead of this console, I will be writing set post, and inside this I will be passing this data. Now I will come here. When I refresh this, you can see I am able to display this 20 cards. If I inspect in my console, you can see I am having 20 data. So that is the reason I am able to display this 20 card. So what I have done, using this set post, I have just accessed entire array of object and I have updated my post state. So now this post state is having entire array of object, and so I am just looping through entire array, and each and every object will be represented for one product. Now here what I will do, I am just going to display all the data. Here I will be writing post.image, and from where I am getting this image property, in this, let me just decrease the size. So here inside this each product we are having this image, we have title, we have price, we have description, we have lot of data, but simply I'm just going to access image. Now here I will be writing post.title. This post will be having entire data. First time it will be having first object data, second time second object data, and it keeps on going. Then I will copy this title, and here I will be pasting. Here also I will paste. In place of title, simply I'm just going to give price. Now I'll come here, refresh this, click on this fetch post. You can see successfully I am able to fetch image, title and price from my fake API store. But now here let me come. I will just give some error inside this API. Come here, refresh once. I will click on this fetch post. It is loading. You can see no error is displayed. Why? Because now if you see here, I am not able to fetch the data, as well as no error is displayed. Why? Because we have only set error to false. We have not set error to true. So what we have to do, if we are having any error, in place of this, I will be writing, let me remove, I will be writing set error, and inside this, I will pass the value as true. I will remove this. Come here, refresh once, click on this. Now I am having some error, so that is the reason now I am having this message. But if you see here, again my button text is not changed. So what I have to do, again I just have to set it to false. I will come here, I will copy this set loading, and here I am just going to set it to false. Again refresh, click on this loading. If I am having any error, again it is just going to change to false, and I will be having this fetch post text. But now the problem is, I will just fix my error. Okay, now successfully I will be able to fetch the data. Come here, click on this. I am able to fetch the data, but if you see here, this error is still present. So what we have to do, before fetching the data, we just have to set this error to false. I will just write here false. So if we are having any error, again when we are fetching the data, we are just setting this error to false. Come here, refresh once. Before that, let me give the error. Come here. Now error is displayed. I will fix the error. Now as soon as I click on this, you can see that error has gone, and successfully we are able to fetch entire data from API. And now if you see here, we are using 3 state variables, and each and every time when we are updating, 6 times we are updating this state. So multiple times, if you want to change something inside the UI, instead of creating this use state, we should always use useReducer. But as of now, I hope you understood this entire project and successfully you are able to fetch this data from API.